My name's Nicole. I'm a physical therapist and a mama, and I am not the only one. I can't be the only one that deals with leaking when it comes to laughing, sneezing, and coughing. If you're in the same boat as me and you're thinking, this sucks, and you're just not okay with using panty liners daily or changing your underwear multiple times a day, stay tuned because today I'm going to give you some practical tips about how to avoid leaking when it comes to laughing, sneezing, and coughing. So when you leak with laughing, sneezing, and coughing, this is due to stress incontinence. All that really means is that during those activities, there's a lot of pressure created in your abdomen. And when that pressure is created suddenly, you either don't have the strength in your pelvic floor or your muscles just aren't coordinated enough to be able to fire and squeeze to stop the flow of urine when you cough, laugh, and sneeze. So that's what it is. What do we do about it? In one of my previous videos, which I'm going to link in the description below, I talked about how to get the most out of your kegels. You really need to start there because if you aren't doing your kegels right, it might just defeat the whole purpose of practicing kegels, right? So go ahead and click that video, watch that first, and then come on back. And then I'm going to talk about max contractions. So if you don't want to leak when you sneeze, laugh, or cough, you need to tighten completely, very quickly for what we would call a max contraction in order to stop the flow of urine. You want to practice this activity just the way you're going to use it during laughing, sneezing, and coughing. So squeeze as tight as you can, and you don't have to hold it more than a second or so, and then completely let it go. When it comes to giving you a number of how many reps of this you want to do, just like any kind of training, strengthening, it depends on you. It depends where you're starting. So a good way to judge where to start is do a few. Do that max contraction. When you've done 3, 4, 10, whatever it is for you, and you feel like, yeah, there's no way that was strong enough to actually stop the flow of urine, you know that your muscles are fatigued and you need to stop. You can stop for a few minutes and try it again. Do that max contraction, and if you feel like it's back, do a few more reps. If you're like, nope, that wasn't enough time, give it a break, come back to it later, and do a few more max contractions. I just want to tell you, it really, for this especially, you don't need to do 100 a day in order to see gains. Even just working up to 4 to 5 times a week is going to be enough to get those muscles stronger. Now that being said, just strengthening those muscles is not going to be enough to reach your goals if you want to stop sneezing, laughing, and coughing when you're out in the community, when your bladder's full, etc. So what you need to do is you need to actually practice coordinating and recruiting those muscles before you sneeze, before you laugh, before you cough. For me, coughing is rather easy. I don't usually leak when I cough. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to max contract, and then I'm going to cough. Yep, just like I thought, that was not a problem. Then I'm going to move on to laughing. And then I'm going to work up to my hardest thing, which for me is sneezing. So I want to progressively make it harder and always think about contracting before the laugh, before the sneeze, before the cough. The other piece of the puzzle is what position. So for me, if I'm sitting in a chair, pretty easy to do those things without leaking. But if I'm kneeling on the floor playing with my son, it's really hard to not leak when I sneeze. So I need to practice in a kneeling position. Can I recruit those muscles fully with my bladder empty, with my bladder full? Can I contract them enough that I stop the flow of urine? It doesn't make sense to practice strengthening something outside of what you would actually do. So you want to do the activity that you actually struggle with in order to see gains. If this is just totally confusing to you, that's okay. Women's health physical therapists can definitely help you. Reach out to one in person, get a phone consult, get an in-home session, whatever therapists are in your area, whatever you have access to, get a hold of them because they can help you figure out, A, are you doing a kegel correctly? B, how many reps should you be starting with? And then finally, what positions are harder, easier, and how do you need to progress? So get in touch with them because I really think that physical therapy has a lot to offer when it comes to solving this incontinence problem because just dealing with it is totally not a good option. Comment below with what position you might try working on kegels in because it just might spark an idea for someone else watching this video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you learned a little something about incontinence. As always, give me a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Subscribe to my channel if you're a mama and you want more information like this. Hit the bell for notifications so that you know when new videos are coming out. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.